In the venture business, you're really looking for multi-$100 million revenue businesses in a handful of years. And we make a lot of investments, about 15 per year. So it's a very high investment pace. We have now 3 offices and we do somewhere between 100 and 200 calls a week. And it's really frustrating from the standpoint of having a meeting with a bunch of people all trying to make a decision of whether we should invest in a company or not, and you can't hear what that company's CEO is saying. And so I think the group fits very nicely into the way we think about video conferencing as a really important piece of infrastructure for us.
We had tried a couple other video conferencing systems before Logitech Group, and we always had to think about them. With Logitech Group, we don't really have that problem. The camera is high enough resolution that you can see everybody. The pan-tilt zoom is extremely useful because it allows us to have a meeting with 3 people as easily as 12 people. And the microphones, we don't think about them anymore. Everything just works, and so you kind of stop thinking about it, and that's nice.
We have a fairly unique office sort of setup where companies we invest in, many of them take space in our office or spend some amount of time here. And so I think the group has been great at being super simple for people of wide varieties of sort of technology backgrounds to very quickly start using and feel comfortable with right away.
We're able to have the kinds of hallway conversations that we would have with our folks here in the office with people who are remote. We just recently made a decision to hire our first employee who is full-time remote. He's a really key person with a background that's very relevant to our business, and so to actually make that hire certainly has been enabled by Logitech Group.
We bring things directly up to the camera and share them on the screen all the time. The end result is that we've gone through an iteration of the product without having to ship that product back and forth across the country, without having to ship an engineer back and forth across the country.
With video in a big boardroom like this, it's actually really important to be able to see the faces of each employee. We can actually see their reactions to things, you can read their facial expressions.
I think without Logitech Group, we just wouldn't be able to work the way we do today.
It would definitely be much more challenging to gauge a company that we're looking at. We have partners on the East Coast and the West Coast all trying to collaborate and make decisions that involve money and years of commitment and time. So I think getting those right is really critical.
I think the biggest strength of the Logitech Group is that I don't have to think about it. It just works.
We run our business every single day on Group, and I think we would be a very different place without it.